Okay, so this probably isn't going to look like much right now, but this summer I did a little test patch after it rained, because when you're trying to pull weeds or grass or anything out of gravel, the best time to do it is when it's loose and really wet. It has been downpouring on and off all day today, and the sun comes out and then it downpours, sun comes out, downpours. So anyway, I did a little test patch, maybe about 3 feet, and I just pulled out all of the grass. I put in all my raspberry bushes down this entire rock wall, retaining wall here. And then I put in little boulders to mark out where the edge of the raspberry line was. And then I basically just dug out the grass that's growing from the raspberries out to our driveway here. I did this little section from here to here where these rocks are. And you can see that I did pull out, there was 3 or 4 big weeds, like dandelion weeds, like these guys. But for the most part, all of the grass stayed away, and I really liked the look of it. It looked much more clean to just have our full gravel driveway just continue right up to that rock wall. Like, it just looks so much cleaner. And so since it's been downpouring all day today, I thought I would come out here and then right at the rock line, pull out the rest of this grass down to kind of this wood pile over here where the compost pile used to be. And then I also have some more raspberry bushes that I got from my mother and father-in-law's house that need to be transplanted, so we'll put those in right over there. But we're not going to even bother doing that until we get the rest of this grass cleared out. It is coming out pretty easy and just shaking it all out, and we'll just dump this all in a big compost pile. It's just mostly all weeds and grass. And then once we finish this strip and we put in the raspberries, I will come back, probably not today, but another day, and I will finish the rest of the project, which is to continue on all the way up here on the side of where we park our vehicles. So I just want all this gravel to come right up to the rock wall, and I do not want to have this big grassy mess. It just looks really sloppy. I've just never liked the look of it, and so this is making it look so much cleaner and just kept. So that is my project for today. I'm going to finish the rest of this grass section down to where the compost pile used to be, right next to the wood pile. And then I'm going to take the raspberry bushes that I'll show you guys later, and I will transplant them over there so that we can just continue on with our whole wall of raspberries, which I think will be really fun. So let's get started. Actually, we already got started. Let's continue. Gonna put my camera far away out of the rain. Okay, so I'm calling it quits for today, mostly because I don't think my back can literally handle any more of that. Oh, it was going so well until I got to this last part and it just beat me up. The roots. Look at all these roots. These are all salmonberry roots that are coming from this freaking mess. I took from basically over here to this tree and cut it all the way down to the nubs. And this is all growth from this year. So, time to hack it all back again, trim up all the stuff that's going to come through these rocks because I want to just keep this entire row right here all raspberries. So you can see this is all raspberries, but then it starts to get confusing because salmonberries start to jut out of this rock wall. So I'll come back tomorrow and I'll kind of do a back cleanup on this back wall so you can just see the raspberries. Then I'll also put all these rocks back in a nice pretty little row. And then tomorrow I will also cut the raspberries back and plant them in the ground over here. And I'm going to do a pretty harsh prune on them, so they might not produce berries next year, but we'll get them the following year, which is honestly totally fine because all these are in berry production mode already. So a couple feet of raspberries at the end that aren't producing berries is no big deal for next year. So let's take a faraway look. This is the backed up shot. So you come up our driveway. Front of the house is here, front yard is here. We park over here. And then when you pull up, this is kind of the first thing you see. So now we've got it cleaned back from just about before the wood pile all the way up to where I had it cleaned out at the end or at the beginning of the summer right here. So the project will be to move these rocks back, clean back all the salmonberries, transplant the raspberries that we have in this little section that's open over here. And that will probably be the summary of this video. And then I'll come back in a few weeks or a month or two, and I will be rejuvenated and I'll have completely forgotten about how miserable this project is, and I will finish the rest of it. And the rest of it is going to be from this point, clearing all this grass and weed strip out all the way up to the corner of our property, which you can't really see, but it's basically by our paddle boards and kayaks in that corner. So it's, I would say, 1, 2, 3, probably a 3-foot area, 3-foot strip all the way up. Brief pause, come back tomorrow, finish the job. Well, I know I said I was going to come back the next day. I did not. It is days later. But better late than never, right? I am ready to finish the project. I was going to just basically put all these rocks back and line this whole edge so that it looks really neat and tidy. And then I was going to go get the raspberry bushes, cut them all up and, trim them down to kind of the nubs, and then plant them in over there, all the way in the corner down to where that wheelbarrow is. Because I'm basically done with this section. And I think that's where I'll leave it for this video. And I think it'll look really great. So let's quick move all these rocks back, and then we'll go through getting the raspberries transplanted and moved. Here is the raspberries from my mother and father-in-law's. So you can see I cut all the tops off of them. I basically went and removed them down to the base because it is going into fall and winter anyways, and I figure it doesn't really matter. And I just basically looked at every single stick and I have picked a bud and then I cut at an angle right above the bud. I'm hoping that doing cuts above all the buds will help promote new growth from these old shoots. So we will see how it turns out. So this bundle of raspberries is going to go right over here at the end of our current raspberry wall. A couple feet, I'll just kind of zigzag them in and tuck them in. All right, we are finally done with the project that seemingly lasted forever and was very miserable, gave me blisters, and made me realize that it was good that I was only doing that small chunk because I am not mentally prepared to do the rest of the strip of the driveway behind me. But I wanted to show you guys what it looked like now that it is kind of dried out and settled. It looks so good in my opinion. So this is where we started. I had done, remember, this little strip, these maybe like 3 rocks worth. And then from here on is this part that I did in this video of the full clean out. And like this entire strip. And this lovely rock wall you can see right under the raspberries. I will be doing in another video, setting up some cement blocks with those 4x4s and doing like small little 2x2s across it and running some cable. And I'll probably do one at the end, one at the other end, maybe one in the middle, so that we can kind of support all these raspberries, but that'll be this fall project. And then here is our finished transplanted raspberries. Don't they look lovely? I mean, they look like sticks, but they will grow, I promise. And raspberries really love growing in crappy soil, in my experience. You put them in nice quality dirt, they don't seem to do any different than if you throw them in dirt and gravel. And so that is kind of the status of all of these. They all produced really beautiful, fresh raspberries this year. And I'm excited to just kind of continue this on as we acquire more raspberries and I transplant some that are kind of tucked all the way up there, need to be moving all the way down here. Are you guys impressed? I'm just so content with how this looks. I'm gonna back up one more time to show you. Nuka, where are you going? Okay. I'm just so happy with this, you guys. I want to show you one more view, backed out, like kind of zoomed out a little bit so you can see just how clean and good this looks. It gives me inspo for sure to finish the job, which I will. Just need a little mental break. Physical and mental break. Zooming out, you come up the driveway and look at this. So beautiful, so fresh, so clean, so tidy. Oh! And then nasty weeds and grass. Anyway, that is it for this video. It was kind of pieced together, so I'm sorry. And then I also lost a little snippet of audio at some point when I was talking about the raspberries, so if my voice sounds a little bit different, it was because I had to go back and re-record my own voice over a video clip that I was talking, which is a weird thing to do. So I'm sorry about that. But hopefully it all turned out well and that you enjoyed this kind of before and after. I know it wasn't like a very interactive video and a lot of sped up footage, but it was kind of just like satisfying to see the before and after. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you later.